everyone, Traci here with Create Your Future, and today I am here with a really exciting topic about living fourth dimensionally in infinite potential. And I'm so excited to talk about this and explain it a little bit more. And I intend that it helps you so much on your journey and inspires you to do exactly that, live a little bit more fourth dimensionally. And live in the realm of infinite possibilities, because that's really actually what is going on here. And we all deserve to live in that realm of possibilities and sort of shed our shackles to our own self-imposed limitations, whether it be from beliefs or past experiences, whatever it is. You can shed those shackles and live in infinite potential. And I hope this is just a little bit of help in doing that. So before I get started, I want to remind you that we are doing a giveaway, and you can win 3 free coaching sessions with the coach of your choice. And the way you enter to win is by subscribing to the channel, liking the video, commenting down below, sharing something that you've manifested, sharing a question that you have, sharing a success story that you have. It can be related to this topic or just law of assumption in general. But yeah, I love hearing your manifestations and maybe what you're working on, and any questions that you have. That can also be an inspiration for a future video as well. So I love seeing your comments. Thank you guys for watching. Thanks for commenting. I'll also remind you that I am available for one-on-one coaching if you would like more help in manifesting your desires and creating more consciously, being a conscious creator, creating more things that you desire in your reality. I would love to help you with that. And you can find the link to book coaching in the description below. I also have a course out that is all about that, being a conscious creator. So we're already all brilliant creators, but sometimes we're doing it unconsciously. We don't know we're doing it. And so the course that I have out is all about helping you become more of a conscious creator. And when you become more of a conscious creator, you are creating more and more wanted things in your life, in your experience, and less unwanted things. So that's always a good thing. Okay, so let's dive into this topic, all about living fourth dimensionally in the realm of infinite possibilities. So I was going back and reading some of Neville's work, and it was exactly about this. And it just inspired me so much, because this is a lot of times where I see my clients get tripped up, and it has been in the past where I got tripped up as well, is that we just live a little bit too much in the 3D already manifested reality. And that's basically everything that you can sense with your 5 senses. That's the 3D reality, right? And so, yeah, we get really involved and really sort of, I don't know if I want to say addicted to it, but really kind of like attached to it. And we get kind of, we get things the wrong way around. And I've done a video about this before in the past, but I will just reiterate it because it's so important to remember, which is whatever you can sense with your 5 senses right now, like right now, look around you, whatever you can see, whatever you are aware of being present in your reality was created by you. Oh, there's my dog. She just popped her head up. It was created by you. And that is the thing, that the fundamental concept that we are forgetting when we get so sort of like reactionary to the 3D reality. We are forgetting that we created it. And usually when it's unwanted things, we forget that we created that thing. And you don't always have to go and figure out how you created it. Sometimes it's very obvious, right? The thing that shows up, you recognize, oh yeah, I had a fear, I had an insecurity, I focused on that happening. Of course, that's showing up in my 3D reality. Of course, I understand how I did that. Sometimes it's less obvious. Sometimes it can be something like a really deep-seated fear that we didn't even know we were focusing on, but it was sort of like dictating all of our actions and our thoughts and our even words, conversations, was sort of springing from this place of fear. And so, of course, that thing got created in your reality, because you are creating everything. Nothing is happenstance, nothing is random, nothing is chance, nothing is just out of the blue. It's out of your consciousness, right? And so the way that we want to shift things is by remembering that you created everything. And when you remember this on a deeper level, then you don't have to be so invested and involved in the 3D reality when it's something that you don't prefer, when it's something showing up that you don't prefer. So what to do instead of that is to live more in your consciousness. It's your consciousness that's real. It's your consciousness that creates. And I have a couple of quotes that I want to read from Neville. Again, I was going back and reading some things that I was inspired to just kind of refresh. And I felt like every line was like a quotable line. It was so powerful, so impactful. Just everything was so, I don't know, just so meaningful. So yeah, I want to share a couple of quotes. And the first one is, all changes take place in consciousness, right? So when you want to change something, we've all heard the mirror analogy. Let's say you see a reflection in the mirror. You don't go and write on the mirror. You don't draw different hair or different smile or different teeth. You don't do that in the mirror. You know that the changes take place in you so that the reflection can change. That's exactly what he's talking about here. All changes take place. You can maybe add the word first, in consciousness, right? So you have to change your consciousness. You have to change what you give attention to. You have to change your story. You have to change your meaning that you're pasting onto things before you can see them change in your 3D reality, before you can actually sense the change with your 5 senses. The next quote, the habit of seeing only that which our senses permit renders us totally blind to what otherwise we could see, right? So again, he's talking about not living so much in the 3-dimensional world of senses, because if you do that, basically you're just regurgitating the thing that you already created, right? Because again, everything that's already manifested, everything you can sense was your creation. So when you only see that, the habit of only seeing that just regenerates it, and it completely leaves out the potential for change, right? You have to see something else in your consciousness. You have to be able to commit to something else in your consciousness in order to let that get pushed out, to actually be able to experience that. It's not possible to only see what you've already created and see something different. It's really just, that's going to be a hard road. Here's the next quote that I loved. The most remarkable feature of man's future is its flexibility. It is determined by his attitude rather than his acts. Okay. So this hopefully will address many, many, many of your questions about what should I do with my SP? Should I text them first? Should I call them up? Should I bring them a gift? Should I shower them with love, right? That's all focused on like what actions to take in the 3D. And the way you shift and change your reality isn't through those actions, right? It's determined by your attitude, by your thoughts about the situation, by how you think about yourself, right? And this is something I've been working on with so many of my clients lately, which is self-love, self-worth, and leaning back and feeling safe, practicing knowing, really integrating that you know you're the creator of your reality. You don't need to jump in and move things around physically. You can just sit back and allow your thoughts to create. And that's not to say that we don't ever take action. Of course, like we live in this 3D reality. Of course, we're going to be inspired to act. And sometimes acting is appropriate. And we're here to act. We're here in this three-dimensional reality to act and to enjoy the 3D reality. But again, that's not the source of your change. And that's not the source of sort of like creating something new. It's not by your actions. It's about your attitude, how you think about the situation. And another quote was, "The cornerstone on which all things are based is man's concept of himself." And again, that was just what I was talking about. You want to understand, integrate, practice knowing that you're worthy, that you're the creator, that you are creating everything around you, that your desires are meant for you. What you desire also desires you, right? It's all about the concept that you have of yourself, the way you choose to see yourself, right? When we have these concepts about ourselves, negative concepts about ourselves, whether it's like, I'm not chosen, or I'm not worthy, or I'm not the prize, those concepts are chosen by you unconsciously. And that's not to say you didn't have an experience in the past that sort of helped you develop that. But again, it's not something that you consciously chose to integrate and believe in and perpetuate and solidify. You didn't choose that. Okay, yes, the last one, and probably my favorite one, is a change of concept of self automatically alters his future, and a change in any term of his future series of experiences reciprocally alters his concept of self. So what he's talking about here is, of course, the change has to happen internally. The concept of yourself has to happen first, and that will alter your future experiences. And when you start to see things shifting and changing and morphing and reflecting this new self-concept, then that reciprocally reinforces this new concept about yourself, right? So, but it started internally first. You have to do it internal first. And this is why we all recommend going in steps, because that will allow you to build momentum and build your confidence and build your skills basically in manifesting, which is so important. This is a skill, and it's a never-ending development of that skill, a never-ending journey of learning more about yourself, learning more about what you can refine and fine-tune, and learning more and more and more how to be more conscious. It's a never-ending journey, and of course it starts internally. So that is my topic today about living fourth dimensionally in infinite potential. I do want to share a success story that I recently had sent in from one of my clients, and this was not a full success story, but it was obviously huge, and it's what I'm talking about. She was able to change her self-concept enough to where she felt confident to sit back and allow her SP to come in and start to pursue her, which in the past she wanted to be pursued, but she didn't have the confidence. She didn't have the faith. She didn't really have the trust that he was going to do it. And really it boiled down to, she didn't trust that she was creating her reality, right? She didn't trust that because I'm intending he now pursues me, he's going to pursue me. She didn't quite trust that all the way. She didn't quite trust herself as being the creator. Nothing else has the ability to assert in my reality. I'm doing all of this, right? She didn't quite have all of that solidified. So we worked on her self-concept. We talked about, okay, well, if he was pursuing you, what would you feel? How would you feel? Would you feel calm? Would you feel confident? Would you feel happy? Right? Of course, these are the things we identified that she would feel if he was pursuing her. And so she really worked on those things. She had already been intending that he pursues me, he loves me, he just wants to be with me, He spends all of his time with me. He makes me his number one priority. So all those things were already in place, right? She had been working on that. But what she really had to work on, the like final step to get it to show up in her reality, was this concept of herself. Just like I was reading the quotes from Neville. And it started to show up. He started pursuing her. He started every night asking her to come over, asking her to go on dates, asking what she was doing, asking about her day, right? The time that they weren't together, asking how it had gone, what did she do, right? He really wanted to be involved, and he really wanted to be a bigger presence in her life. He was coming towards her and pursuing her, and this is how she did it. And it's so amazing to see this when you have this transition from, okay, I'm doing my intentions, I'm doing my affirmations, but not seeing a whole lot of evidence. That's the time, you guys, when you really need to take a step back and figure out, well, I know my thoughts create. I know I'm worthy of this. I know my desire is meant for me. So how would I feel if I already had this thing? And that's what you want to practice, because your intentions are, the universe already heard you, you know, the forces that you're co-creating with, it's already in place there. So you want to fix up and get your energy aligned with receiving, right? Getting your energy in line with being worthy of receiving your desire, receiving the pursuit that you want, and then watch as it starts to show up in your reality. So such an amazing story. I'm so proud of her. And yeah, I can't wait to hear what's coming next for her and her journey. So that's it for today. I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.